For that young man that may not have had the good fortune of having two parents in the household, he may have also had the misfortune of seeing some things that he would have rather not seen growing up, whether it have been drug abuse or domestic violence or what have you. He may see a Clinton Young and say, you know, he had two parents, they were both, you know, pretty well off, educated. He became a mayor. What can I do? I have larger obstacles in my mind. What kind of things can a young man do that may feel like he's drowning, that he doesn't have the resources? What's his first step?
There are many other examples. I'm proud to be who I am. I'm fortunate to have had both parents, fortunate to have both parents who instilled the importance of education and discipline in my life, fortunate to have parents who could afford to send me to Morehouse, you know. Again, just fortunate and blessed. But there are other success stories. Look at our president. Look at President Obama, you know, who did not have a father in the household, whose mother was basically a single mom for most of his life. He's president of the United States. You see, there are so many other great examples, not just on the federal scene, but here in the city of Mount Vernon. There's so many people who were brought up in one-parent households who are tremendous success stories. So it's not just Clinton Young. There are several other people here in this community that serve as role models and examples of just being, you know, achieving greatness, just ordinary people achieving extraordinary things.
It seems as if a child is looking for help, he can get it. A lot of young people don't feel like they can get help. Is that an accurate statement?
I think that it is a statement that we can debate, but not debate for a long period of time. Let's again concentrate on the household. It doesn't cost anything to sit down and speak with your child. No matter how much money you have or how much money you need, it does not cost one penny to sit down and speak to your child. It doesn't cost any money to encourage your child. It does not cost any money to instill discipline in your child. So, having that message given to your child, there again are many examples out here in the city of Mount Vernon, particularly for African American young men to get a mentor if there's no father in the household. You can go to the Boys Club, the Y, or even here at City Hall where we try and provide a mentorship program, including after-school jobs or summer jobs. Now, there are going to be obstacles in your life. There are going to be bumps in the road, you see, but you have to seek help. You have to have some type of self-determination, self-respect, and a willingness to achieve. Let me share my story with you. Again, my father was a principal in the school system, the first African-American principal in the school system. My mother taught school here in Mount Vernon for well over 30 years. When I got to Mount Vernon High School, the counselor, as I sat and talked about, and at that time Mount Vernon High School was only 10th through 12th grade. Now, I knew all along that I was going to college, but when I got to the high school, I was told by my counselor that I was not college material. Of course, she did not know who my father was. She did not know who my mother was at that time, you see, but I was told I was not college material. I told her in the 10th grade that I wanted to get into a college preparatory course study because I wanted to attend Morehouse College in Atlanta. She'd never heard of Morehouse, you see, so I was being pushed in a different direction. And I could remember coming home with a schedule that had nothing to do or had nothing that would enable me to become college material. And when I went home and I showed this schedule to my parents, of course it was corrected, but I'm saying how many other young African-American men, young men, are faced with that, not being encouraged or pushed to achieve better. And that's my story. That's my story, that again, there are always obstacles, and certainly you have to have some self-determination and encouragement to achieve.
Now, we have young people around the nation, they're going to be watching this interview. We want you to talk to them about the choices you now have to make. A lot of young folk think once you've attained your degree, you have a position, you're the mayor, you just kind of cruise through your day and everything's okay, you've got plenty of time, you get a paycheck and you go home. I'm sure that's not how it goes.
No, definitely not how
Even to this day, talk a little bit about your time and the choices that you have to make. I'm sure you're pulled in every direction. How do you make your choices?
I try and prioritize when it comes to choices. Now, I work for all people here in the city of Mount Vernon. I try and plan a day, I try and plan a week, I try and plan a month, but no telling what will happen when I walk through that door and the phone rings and someone has a problem. It can range anything from a garbage can not being set upright after being emptied by a DPW department, to someone who is about to be evicted from an apartment seeking my help, someone who needs some direction in terms of obtaining the right type of social services, to me wanting to construct a $20 million project, to dealing with a developer that wants to invest maybe a couple of $100 million in the community of Mount Vernon. So again, it covers a broad spectrum of meetings, it covers a broad spectrum of needs, and certainly many, many decisions made, not even by the hour, but by the minute. So again, it's dealing with the public and having a vision, having an agenda, but it's always, the phone will ring or someone will knock on my door, my office door, with a problem, and it's up to me to provide the kind of service that's going to satisfy that particular need. I want to say to these young people that, hey, there's an option, and the decisions that you make even at a young age may have an extreme effect upon your life in a negative way as you grow. Now, here's a sad commentary, not about the young people, but about us as a society, particularly the African American family. We are looking, not we, but meaning government, is looking at third grade reading scores of African American young men to determine how many jail cells will be built within a 10-year period. That's a sad commentary for our society, but we as an African American community, as particularly African American men, must accept this challenge. We can no longer be absent in our homes. We have to protect the children that we produce. And again, we have to become more involved, whether it be through PTA as young ages. We cannot leave this up to just the mothers to continue to provide the guidance and example for, again, our young people, particularly African American young boys. Again, they're being victimized, looking at third grade reading scores to determine whether a cell will be built for them 10 years from now. Here's what I'm saying, the bottom line. The bottom line is young men, young African American men, be careful about the decisions that you make. You know in your gut whether something is right or something is wrong. If it's a terrible feeling in your gut, walk away, because you will pay for it in the end. There is no one who has ever beaten the streets, whether it be through selling drugs, committing crimes, joining a gang. The streets are batting 1,000%. They are undefeated. You will pay for it one way or the other. Do not make bad decisions. Trust your gut. You know right from wrong. Choose the right path.
Clinton I. Young, Jr., the mayor of Mount Vernon, New York. Who would have thought about it? You're doing a great job. It's evident. We watch it. We appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
And I thank you very much.